the director of Blood Feast, shows you an alternative to eating humans.
Swift & Company, keeping women in the kitchen since 1945.
Not enough film grain in your Charlie Brown Thanksgiving?
We would have had you over sooner.
But, you know, with your colored husband and all.
But all he does every night is come home and fall into bed.
Yeah, and probably making so much money he needs a truck to get it to the bank.
He makes over 35 cents an hour. He is the 1%.
Take your usual place in Gloria.
On the floor, next to the Zenith.
Beautiful. The table, I mean. What is this, an anniversary or something?
It's Thanksgiving, you idiot!
No anniversary.
The turkeys aren't tipping you off yet. Pilgrims, Indians, hello?
Mary, don't tell him a thing.
We want them to keep guessing.
2 words, Benjamin. Plastic turkey.
All right.
This will be the last time I catch that dog pissing on my carpet.
Some kind of a gag.
You know, Dame, how did you cook
Not
this?
an anniversary, but it is a special occasion. Now we have to find out for ourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
I got it.
I got it. Black maid. Black maid. Oh, you almost had me.
Oh, now hold everything, will you, Joe? Now, don't start carving that beautiful turkey yet.
I'm not used to seeing Harvey Korman talk about food unless he has 4 arms.
We had pictures of you the last time you tried carving a turkey. We'd have made a mint selling them for a TV comedy.
It'll be the biggest hit since Hello Larry.
Oh, I wouldn't hurt you for the world, you know that, Joe, but honest, watching you carve is...
It's like watching the kid in the helmet play baseball. I know I shouldn't laugh.
We feel no such guilt.
Go fuck yourselves.
Al. Al.
The turkey is your son.
Just decided to give you a special treat. Now, I was going to let you watch from the other end of the table.
But now we'll be serving you table scraps with the dog.
Special friend, and because you get such a kick out of watching me carve.
To this day, I still don't understand your fetishes.
Now, would you step right over here, please? Now, I want you to watch very close. Gloria?
Recook this turkey.
You mean you just cut them up like little chickens?
And it's stuffed with a handful of Lucky Strike cigarettes.
Crap, the microphone was hidden in the turkey.
That's a terrible spot to hide that.
The whitest meat the 60s could offer.
No dark meat allowed on my plate.
I'm not buying that this is a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie. There's not enough red paint.
And you go fuck yourself, and you go fuck yourself.
Why is he so happy that he can cut a turkey? I'm so confused by this.
That's right, home audience. You're next.
This is the longest Insight commercial I've ever seen.
Wouldn't you like your men to have these carvings, girls? Try these free samples of Enzyte.
Do you mind going to your place, Al? Or are you going to stand there staring all night?
My carving skills are limp in comparison.
You learn to carve like that. You've been taking lessons or something?
Let's see him recover from that sick burn.
You mean the home economist for Swift? Oh, no wonder. She's an authority on meat.
Linda Lovelace sure knows how to deep throat a turkey.
TV film for them over at the studio. And the minute I saw what it was all about, I made up my mind to really learn all about carving.
It all started on the set of Ozzie and Harriet. I decided to learn all I could about how to turn into a small white woman.
Say, tell me, you think a guy like me can learn how to carve anything like you do?
All you need is an axe and some college students, and you'll be set.
No. Well, it sure looks like it the way you do it.
Start out with Spam. It's the easiest to carve.
Different meats.
It's not nearly as complicated as you might think.
Step 1, make sure your meat is in room temperature under several studio lights.
Spread out on the table here are more than 20 different cuts of meat, if you include the turkey and chicken.
Whoa, slow down. You lost me at meat.
Grouped. If you learn to carve any one piece in each group,
You'll finally pass home economics at 35.
rehearsals, and you'll see what I mean. For instance, leg of lamb, whole ham, and the picnic shoulder.
Unfortunately, the picnic shoulder is covered with ants.
Most of these are carved during camera rehearsals and when we photograph them. The only real difference between carving a whole ham
Is the foreskin.
and the butt or shank end cuts is that these are placed with the cut surface down. The actual cutting is the same.
Before we go on, you have to eat the old 96er.
It includes all steaks. And the only thing to remember about steaks is that when all bone is removed,
Remember, after you remove the bones, the animal will be very hard to work with.
one will get a serving from each section where they vary in tenderness.
All carving must be done with the meat still inside the package.
Just make sure that all carving is done at right angles to the meat grain. That way, all servings are more tender and tasty.
And more sinful.
Cut is the same once the bones are removed. The only thing to remember is that all cutting should be across the grain or fibers of the meat.
If you cut horizontally, it'll only look like you're trying to get attention.
Loin of pork and lamb ribs
Now, when carving up your neighbors, make sure to start with the spine.
by cutting between the ribs. The standing rib roast is done differently, but easily.
You only need the blood of 3 children and 4 prostitutes.
Left, then carve horizontally.
Across the tracks.
And of course, the best possible example of this idea of learning to carve by meat groups is turkey and chicken.
I like my turkey like I like my women, wrapped in plastic and next to a delicious chicken.
You tell it. But turkey?
They give you trouble?
Trouble?
Those jive turkeys giving you trouble?
The car for our first Thanksgiving dinner. A kid could have done better pulling it apart with his hands.
But would a kid taste as good?
When we make the pictures, you'll learn.
Well, I hope so.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to being Donna Reed.
Leg of lamb. Do you know that carving a leg of lamb is exactly the same as carving a whole ham?
A whole head?
Ham, Brad.
Remember, this isn't the Herschel Gordon Lewis you're used to.
Lothar of the Hill People will be pleased.
This can be located by the H-bone,
The H-bomb?
Boom, Brad.
which slants towards this meaty section. Now, cutting off these slices makes a flat surface for the roast to stand on while you're carving.
Flat as a board and needs a screwing.
Standing upright, you make sure the shank is to your right,
We're working prison rules with this lamb.
and a carver would put it the other way. Then you make a series of perpendicular cuts right down to the bone.
This will gently sever the vocal cords.
And when you've got as many slices as you want, you lay your carving knife.
So carving magic is just using quick fades?
You end up with a series of horseshoe-shaped slices just as neat and pretty as you could want.
Dressed like a cheap whore.
Is the same for ham and lamb, for roast fresh ham, and roast leg of veal.
Cut, cut, cut.
You may need to be a little more specific when using that word.
Assistant Director Henry Kissinger steps in.
I would recommend moving on to the roast. Oops, boom mic in the shot.
This has more visible equipment than Dolomite.
You place the half ham upright.
Butt piece is butt piece. I'm gonna get me some good butt piece.
Wedge-shaped bone is on your left. Then slice
Carving magic for a moil.
bone.
People were desperate in the days before internet porn.
Yes, slower. Make it sweat a little bit.
Then make a vertical cut close to the round bone to free the slices.
Freed slices will be considered 5/8 of a ham.
Carve a whole ham, except that you're slicing horizontally instead of vertically. The shank piece is practically the same.
I prefer my ham with a little bit of stubble.
Free from the bone first. Then slice it into as many servings as you want.
More cushion for the pushing.
The next group she showed us how to carve were the loin roasts.
I usually have to pay $50 for someone to carve my loin roast.
Not me. I usually pay 20. They don't need teeth for them to do what I want them to do.
The carving is easy if you have the backbone cut free when you buy the roast.
Hear that, ladies? Even cowards know how to carve.
Then remove it before putting the roast in the platter.
On top of a plate of mucus.
Seriously, what is that?
And a standing rib roast of beef also is the same.
Variety!
You make your cuts horizontally instead of vertically. After that, she showed us how to carve a porter.
Our lead actor was suddenly replaced by Dick Sargent.
I think this part about steaks is just about the most interesting part of it all.
With a can of Crisco, I could swallow this baby whole.
It's being part of carving.
It also makes a nice hat.
I know, that's what most people think. Here. But if you remember what I just showed you,
If you could remember what I showed you, I wouldn't have wasted an entire day!
with a short pointed knife, then, holding the knife at an angle,
Get a close look, we need to deliver this to Ed Gein's house ASAP.
as many slices as there are people to be served.
It saves you a step when it's pre-carved.
Then, cut the sirloin strip,
I'm starting to think that carving magic is studio magic.
same number of slices. That way, all your servings will be the same. Everyone will be served equal amounts of each part of the steak.
That's commie talk.
If you use this same principle for all steaks, you'll find that people will really enjoy having steak at your house.
I do like having my meat shared equally.
What you find out, I'm learning how to carve. What's next, Miss Logan?
Next, we learn about safe words. Banana is a very popular choice.
Roast first.
With a blade bone roast,
Wow, her voice really changed.
both the blade bone and the small piece of backbone,
This guy shouldn't be allowed within 30 yards of a butcher shop.
the various muscles, or sections of meat.
It's pretty easy to carve the random shit pile.
This'll be first prize at tomorrow night's bump fight.
It's easy to see which way the grain runs in each section.
This is boring. When do we move on to something more challenging, like bread?
Necessary to make it easy to get nice.
Make sure they're topped with a fine layer of brains. Babe, the extended cut.
Wait, what's she doing behind him?
If she's back there, what's he looking at?
Tender. Always make sure everyone gets an equal portion of it.
Should this be looking like anything?
There, it's done. What do you think?
The same. Except that you don't have to remove the one round bone out in the kitchen before you serve it.
That was a delicious dissolved cut.
For this scene, the turkey has been replaced by a birthday cake. Let's see if anybody notices.
Joe's so manly, flames are attracted to him.
Well, would it be too much trouble? I mean, would you teach me how?
I'm not really sold on the 60s version of Dexter.
Do better.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, I figured you'd want to learn, and since Mary doesn't keep our refrigerator stocked,
Since this lazy bitch doesn't do anything around the house,
I borrowed a print of the movie we made.
it's titled How to Keep Your Fucking Man Happy, Gloria.
Like to see it?
Hey, swell.
Good, you finish your coffee and I'll get the projector.
Did every party in the 60s end with a snuff film?
Okay, all set. Now, everybody ready? Kill the light, please, Mary.
What did I teach you? I meant carve the light!
Well, here we go.
Oh good, we get to watch this again.
Thank God they borrowed the title card from Carving Magic.
The art of carving, or how I learned to stop worrying and love the knife.
For centuries.
And a few husbands who have had enough interest and patience.
I've got enough interest and patience. Now where's my martini?
Home economist has devised a simple method of grouping the most common meats.
Alright, white's on this side, dark's on the other. We keep the browns in the middle, we don't know what to do with them.
This method of grouping the various meat cuts is really quite simple.
It's the easiest way to keep your meats pure and untainted.
Similarity between different cuts of meat. For instance, people seldom think of ham and leg of lamb as being anything alike.
That's because they aren't.
And they're right to question that.
Show you. The first thing you do is to locate the wedge-shaped bone called the H-bone,
H-bomb?
God damn it, Brad!
pointing toward the section from which the big horseshoe-shaped slices are cut.
That is a fine piece of Kirstie Alley.
I don't want that one. This one has a tire mark in it.
With the shank bone to the right of the carver, first step in carving is to remove several slices from the sides opposite the meaty section.
Remember, don't cut the meaty section on this huge piece of meat.
With the fork placed in the butt end of the roast to hold it firm, start slicing at the shank end.
Slow down. We can only make so many shank jokes.
But, firm, shanked, too fast, too fast!
Ah, more of that carving magic we were talking about.
You're a wizard, Mary.
Hey, it's Vic. Is your kitchen lacking dissolve cuts?
When the desired number of slices has been cut,
37!
That's oddly specific of you, Jake.
and cut along the leg bone to free the slices.
Free at last! Free at last!
If this keeps going, they're gonna have to carve themselves up some new incidental music. This piece is for the dog. The fat is for my ghastly wife.
And exactly the same method is used for roast leg of lamb,
Here, wrap it up in a giant piece of pita bread.
one of the easiest roasts to carve properly. Ribs to the left of the carver,
Here I was wondering what happened to Don the horse.
ribs to hold the roast firmly.
Fred, we gotta talk.
Side of the roast, across to the ribs. Remember to let a roast stand 15 minutes to let it firm up.
You hear that, Gloria? 15 minutes!
Make sure the blood seeps into your wooden pentagram. Carve me off a piece of its soul if you can.
As each slice is completed, use the tip of the knife to cut along the rib bone and free the slice.
A freed slice gets 40 acres and a mule.
As cutting gets further into the roast, the pork should be removed from between the upper ribs and reinserted further down.
I haven't seen this many deep cuts since Pink Floyd's The Wall.
In carving steaks,
And these are just the appetizers.
This is America. When we're done shooting this, we're gonna throw all these out. Screw you, China.
so that each serving will be equal. For instance,
Coated in rich milk chocolate.
steak. With the bone removed, hold the knife blade at an angle and slice the steak into equal portions, about 3/4 inch thick,
Next time on the Anal Retentive Chef.
serving. As long as you remember this, whether serving porterhouse, sirloin, ham steak,
Sandwiches, salads, split pea soup, cigarettes.
And now to complete our demonstration, I'll show you some of the fine points for the carving job Father loves best.
You remember, Gloria?
The turkey should be placed so that the breast will be to the carver's left. With the tip of the knife, cut the strip of skin holding the legs in place.
Wow, I don't remember taking a girl's virginity being this graphic.
Now, press the drumstick outward with a fork or your left hand.
I prefer my right.
Knife between the thigh and the body and slash through the skin to the joint.
A very Dr. Heiter Thanksgiving.
Set outward pressure constant while you're making this cut, and the entire leg will separate from the body.
I told you that was normal, Gloria!
The upper thigh joint will come out so that you can cut it free with your knife.
This'll make escape next to impossible.
So is this next cut, separating the thigh from the drumstick.
Next, I'll demonstrate on a set of conjoined twins.
I think they're called Siamese twins, Brian. We need to be PC in this shit.
I saw the same scene in Ichi the Killer.
Now for the breast. Take your fork, put it firmly into the wing, and press it away from the body.
Eventually, they will die of shock.
Make a long cut just above the wing joint, cutting in all the way to the bone.
I'll carve what she's carving.
Ready for carving. Start about halfway up the breast and slice straight down toward that cut above the wing joint.
Every time a bell rings, a turkey loses its wings.
Free. Each succeeding slice of white meat is started higher on the breast until the crest of the bone is reached. You'll find with just a little practice, you'll acquire every bit of the skill of the expert.
Albert Fish.
Carving and good eating.
I will stick with delicatessen. Thank you very much.
Well, what did you think of it?
It was okay, but who was that creepy guy behind the lights?
Don't get the idea that this is one of those pictures just to make things look easy.
What do you think this is? That young American horse shit?
Like ham and lamb, chicken and turkey,
Betty Draper is slowly blending into the background.
steaks, and pot roasts. Why, It becomes so easy, you wonder why you didn't think of it yourself.
Or maybe marry somebody who knew what the fuck they were doing, Gloria!
You, Joe, and Mary are hereby invited to our house Saturday night for dinner.
You like tofu, right?
You want to cook?
Are you gonna do the carving?
Me showing up is entirely dependent on whether or not you're touching the food.
And make a bologna.
Okay, alright, we're just trying to have a good time.
Joe, I guess I had that coming. So to show you that my heart's in the right place,
I'll betray Shiva.
standing rib roast. Okay?
It really doesn't make any difference.
Cause we're not gonna fucking show.
At the end of the day, Joe, you're still a schmuck.
Oh, well, if I can learn how to carve, anyone can learn.
Except my fucking wife!
Jake, you didn't get in a mammy joke.
Oh, you're right. Mammy! My little mammy!
A Bradley Dallas Jones production.